Good day, everyone. Good day to my co-masterants, and most especially to our professor, Dr. Jonas E. Olandria. I am Jelian Fortuna Oponda, your reporter for today. For today's video, I am going to discuss to you about the generations of computer. Let me unlock first the words generation and computer. Generation refers to the state of improvement in the development of a product. This term is also used in the different advancement of computer technology. Another one is computer. A computer is an electronic device that manipulates information or data. It has the ability to store, retrieve, and process data. Nowadays, a computer can be used to type documents, send email, play games, and browse the web. It can also be used to edit or create spreadsheets, presentations, and even videos. But the evolution of this complex system started around 1940 with the first generation of computer and evolving ever since. These are the examples of computers. These are the sample images of the generations of computers. It categorizes into five: the first generation, the second generation, third generation, fourth generation, and the fifth generation. The first generation, the example of these are the vacuum tubes, and it started within the year 1940 to 1956. This is an example image of a vacuum tube. The vacuum tube was developed by Lee De Forest, and it is a device generally used to amplify a signal by controlling the movement of electrons in an evacuated space. Another example of the first generation is the Colossus. It was the first electronic computer of this era. Another one is the UNIVAC 1951, or the Universal Automatic Computer. It was the first fully electronic digital computer built in the US, and it created at the University of Pennsylvania. ENIAC weighed 30 tons, contained 18,000 vacuum tubes, and it cost a paltry of $487,000. Lastly is the Bendix G15. It is a general-purpose digital computer, and it is a first-generation computer introduced in 1956. Next generation is the second generation of computers, and the example of these are the transistors. And it started within the year 1956 to 1963. And these are the examples of the transistors. A transistor computer, now often called the second generation computer. It is a computer which uses discrete transistors instead of vacuum tubes. These are the characteristics of a second generation computer. First, machines were based on transistor technology. Second, smaller as compared to first generation. Third, the computational time of second generation computers was reduced to microseconds from milliseconds. Fourth, and the last, this is more reliable and less prone to hardware failure. Hence, such computers required less frequent maintenance. Next generation is the third generation of computers. The examples of these are the integrated circuits, and it started within the year 1964 to 1970. The illustration on the left corner are the examples of the integrated circuits. An integrated circuit, it is a small chip that was the trademark of the computers of the third generation. The integrated circuit used in the third generation computers can work as computer memory, microprocessor, or even an amplifier. The first to develop the idea of the integrated circuit was Robert Noyce of Fairchild Semiconductor and Jack Kelby, an American electrical engineer of Texas Instruments in 1959. The landscape of computing had completely changed by the integrated circuit in the 1960s. These are the characteristics of the third generation computers. First, as third generation computers were made by using an integrated circuit that led to various features which are as follows. Instead of using individual transistors, the computers made in the third generation used integrated circuits technology. Next, as compared to second generation computers, third generation computers were cheaper in price, smaller in size, less heavy in weight, faster in speed, and more efficient. High-level programming languages such as ALGOL 68, Fortran second to fourth, Basic COBOL, Pascal PL were used. These computers were introduced with the magnetic storage. The fourth generation computers, the example of this is the VLSI technology, and it started within the year 1971 to 1980. And these computers use the VLSI technology, or the very large scale integrated circuits technology. Therefore, they were also known as the microprocessors, and the Intel was the first company to develop a microprocessor. These are the examples of the fourth generation computers. Star 1000, Cray XMP or the supercomputer, DEC 10, PDP 11, Cray 1. This generation of computers had the first supercomputers that could perform many calculations accurately. They were also used in networking and also used higher and more complicated languages as their inputs. The computer languages like C, C++, C++, DBase, and etc. were the input for these computers. The picture shows the fifth generation computers. It is the last generation of computers but not the least. And the example of this is the ULSI, or the Ultra Large Scale Integration Technology, and it started within the year 1972 until at present. This is the present generation of computers and is the most advanced one. The generation began somewhere around 1981, and it is the present generation of computers. The methods of input include the modern high-level languages like Python, R, C number sign, Java, and etc. These are extremely reliable and employ the ULSI, or the Ultra Large Scale Integration Technology. And these computers are at the frontiers of the modern scientific calculations and are used to develop the artificial intelligence, or AI, components that will have the ability to think for themselves. Example of these are the following: Intel P4, i3, i10, AMD, Athlon, and etc. And that would be all for my report. Thank you for watching. God bless and keep safe, everyone.